Hello everybody, I am Shepples and welcome back to Let's Play Pathologic. Okay, so since the last part, I actually went and did a little bit of, testing around, and I found that when it comes to going into the houses and that, it is pretty much unavoidable to get infected in some shape or form. But I also found that these tablets, they work best when you've got high dosage of infection. So if my infection was say up to here or something like that, it would have a much greater effect than here. Because if it was about here, it'd actually knock it back down to about where it is now. So it's better to save them up and use them for when you are doing the likes of exploring infected houses. But hopefully we won't have to do too much of that, I hope. So it's nearly 7 o'clock, so we have to go to Saburov. The beginning is quite idiotic. It is necessary to inform the Commandant of my plans. He should provide a formal permission to opening of bodies patients who died from this illness. Less than 10 days remain. Number of infected people 55. Number dead at the moment 96. Gone missing 10. Died in the past 24 hours 32. Infected. Day 3 on which Bachelor will be offered to proceed in hunting the imperceptible enemy and assess. Oh, sorry, I didn't get to read the end of that. What's this place? Is this another tavern? It looks to be closed though. Right. We should go and see Saburov then. How am I for money? I've got plenty of money. A fair few rations. I have a good amount of stuff to trade as well. I'm not really hungry at the moment, so that's okay. Right, we're going to go see Saburov, and I'm hoping that the kids will come out at some point. Yeah, I'll buy one. Like, having 4 of these is more than enough, really, because for the amount of time I'm actually going to spend in the infected housing is hopefully minimal. So hopefully we won't have any problems in that sense. Another bottle. But yeah, excuse me, there's no way that you can actually fully avoid infection. It's as simple as that. You're going to get infected. You just have to keep it under control as best that you can. I just want to see what this guy has to trade. Prices have gone back down again, which is good, considering. Yeah. Why can't I buy the bracelet? Weird. Coffee's gone back down. Twine is at a decent. According to the old residents of the area. No, I'll leave it at that. I don't really have enough money to be kind of piss-arsing around. Right, so we're going up to Saburov. Commandant Saburov. I'm kind of piecing together the background of this bit by bit. And what I'm probably going to do is, once we finish this, I'm probably going to end up doing a video explaining the background of like who everyone is and things like that, because it is quite hard to understand because of the translation. So I'm thinking, like, at the end of this, once I finished it, of doing an actual video based on the background of each character. So, like, you know, explain about the three powers, which are the Kanes, the Saburov, and the Olgimskis, and basically about the other main characters. I'm not going to go into story, like, you know, how the story works or anything like that, because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but I will probably do a video just explaining the background behind the main characters and the families and things like that. It wasn't Katerina that I wanted to go into. Oh. Her. She's the third
I'm afraid there
protagonist.
is not too much use of me now.
As if there were needles in my temples. Do something!
You are lucky, Bachelor Dinkovsky, and this cannot be said about me. Can I ask anything of you? Who can give me a sanction to work with bodies? Body is a riddle. Only the butcher is able to blast a hole of the bull carcass. Only some people in the order are able to dissect a man. The attendants whose families for many generations successfully had a birthright on that. This is our Burak, for example. His knife pierced many bodies and always successful. I do not need to dissect anybody. I need to take an extract or a blood sample. All the same, taboo to dissect the dead is not a rule, but a custom with the forgotten sense. In the land still there is a memory of a terrible nature of this knowledge. It is a pity that the patrol volunteers are mainly the people from the steppe. So is it possible to try? Those some people whose fate appear to be bound to yours, they will always help you. Your glory is more and more loud day after day. They will willingly give you everything that that can be useful to you, but also will help you with advice. But they will not help me to work with dead tissue. So examine the dead at your own risk. If you are noticed, try to hide before you are attacked. Put on clothes in which you will not be recognized. I cannot give such advices. I have not gone out for a long time too. I am all inside. So dangerous to life.
You see, I do not hinder your work. Everyone goes their own way.
That voice really does not suit the character's actual appearance in any shape or form. I shall take care of the people of Tagler Gobo who inevitably will give their lives to me. Will give them not in vain. The new circle of the clan will not include deadly enemies. The new world will be constructed on the general love and mutual consent. Yes, we shall exterminate everyone who tries to play on opposition of day and night, or reason and land. We shall exterminate those who made a banner of this war, the clans of Olgimsky and Kanes. We shall exterminate those who use the forces of sleeping mistresses, and the will of the heads of houses to sustain the flame of this senseless struggle. With what purpose? Someone will have to clean the filth. The party of the humble ones will offer itself to the altar of common benefit, and the people will hate us instead of mourning over our sacrifice. Only those whom we take away with us will love us. So it will be. So I speak, and the mistress hears my words. How are you going to clean the filth? They will exterminate themselves. Everyone now is risking these days. Death will many times raise its scythe above each part of Tagler. But we, expecting such moments, shall mercifully save many from this terrible harvest.
What shall we speak about now?
I shall take care of the people of Tagler Gobo, who inevitably will give their lives to me, will give them not in vain. The new circle of the clan will not include deadly enemies. The new world will be constructed on the general love and mutual consent. trying to piece together exactly what she's talking about, but it's very hard. I'm just going to have to kind of dwell on it and sort of try and piece it together. To strike my enemy, I have to study him from the beginnings. But it will be hard to catch him. We shall begin as it is accepted from the contaminated tissue. We shall make a post-mortem examination of the patient dead from sand plague. First of all, it is necessary to secure with the protection of Saburov on an event of unforeseeable complications at work with dead bodies.
Is there really no cure for this infection?
Our affairs go worse than ever. The infection extends. I need to work with the dead bodies. I was told that this work demands your sanction. Is this so? I regret, but here nobody will help you. An aboriginal superstition forbids destroying a body anyway. Moreover, this is superimposed by the cult of the dead. If they see you dissecting the dead, they will tear you into pieces. One such thing happened. It is necessary for my work. I understand, but I can do nothing. Which I consider that this conversation never happened. Addressed to the people with whom you are acquainted already. As far as I can judge, they are ready to make everything for you. So I shall do. I hope to find another point of view about reactionary prejudices in the infected districts. Rather dark people could resolve this difficulty. I mean the butchers. The butchers, as you understand, have no embarrassment in occasionally cutting bodies. Their tradition provides them with the hereditary right to this sacral action. I've never seen any butcher in this town yet. That's right, Olgimsky has locked them on the occasion of the next strike. However, the people say that the bunch of butchers could not return to the apiary at night before the beginning of blockage. Someone is sheltering them. Here in the land, there is a house where the knowing people live. Try your chance. Aha. This house has been for a long time a secret shelter for the workers of the project of Bulls, who somehow were guilty before Big Vlad. The escaped butchers are also here. Alright. Right, so we have to go find the butchers. Okay. Right, well, we'll do exactly that, but I'm not going through the infected district. Well, feck it, I'll just go. It's only a short walk through. Okay, so from what I gather, they have this kind of... how should I put it? Almost like a commandment, kind of a religious thing, where you're not allowed to basically do anything to the body because they deem it disrespectful. It's what I'm gathering, which is what's making the Bachelors work so hard, because people really do not take to that. They'd rather just bury their dead as it is, which of course makes something like this extremely difficult, because in order to understand the infection you need to get a sample of a blood sample or a tissue sample. But unfortunately, again, they sort of cringe on such actions. They almost forbid it. So that makes the Bachelor's job extremely bloody difficult. And of course, in the long run, my job bloody difficult. Right, but the butchers, as they're known as, are allowed to. There's something about them, it's something about their birthright. They're actually allowed to do it. Right. Boots. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on them boots. I can't right now. It'd probably come in handy. I don't know how well they'd work, but they'd come in handy. Right, we're gonna go to the butcher, which is in Ospina's lair. Ospina's or Ospina, whichever way. Not quite sure what the correct pronunciation is, but we've been here before. We came here because of a job for Eve before, I believe. Right, let's go see what we can find. I can't go that way. There's that creepy doll again. Oh, and there's another one there. And of course the creepy child.
What?
Touch, please. Is my forehead hot? The fugitive butchers hide in your house of Ospina. Well, crucify me for this. What? Again you were sent by the Algimskis? No, this time I have come independently. I need your help. Let's listen. What for you, such wise snake, needs some help? I need tissue of a man who has died of sand plague. These dead can be found in the infected houses only. As you are still alive, you are in none of them. In such place, you can live for 5 to 10 minutes. Then the infection will all after consequences. Excuse me for the vile pun. Perhaps one will agree. What will he ask for this? Perhaps more than one will agree if they are asked by me. Also, I shall ask you about a counter-service. You will agree to carry out my request? Tell me. You have an influence on Algimski. Take advantage of your powers. Tell him to stop pursuing of the fugitives. This is not a right situation to revenge, and he will still full of eagerness. He cools down so slowly. If he will allow living everyone who remained outside the apiary, I shall persuade 3 butchers to risk their lives. They have nothing to lose anyway. I shall try. That's right, because Algimski is after the butchers, because they essentially work for him. They're practically slaves. And he's after them, and they kind of hide here as sort of refuge from him, because they don't want to be under his reign of power anymore, because he's a complete and utter asshole. But even in times like this, with the bloody plague and everything, he doesn't change. He's still the same Algimski. He's just power hungry and cares nothing about nothing and no one other than his financial gain and his power. That's just the way Algimski is. So we need to kind of persuade him to change a bit when it comes to the butchers. Okay. I knew that this was not going to be just so simple. We should probably also go see Reuben, see what he has to say. Mind you, it would not surprise me if Reuben is becoming sick. After all, he is in with Simon Kane. So we need to keep George Kane, Victor Kane, the 2 Stamatin brothers, Mariah Kane, Eve, and Mark Immortal. We need to keep them all alive. That's the infection kicking in, isn't it? And that happens. When that happens, that means the infection is worsening. It's just getting worse. Right, we'll go see Ruben next. Before we go see Olgimsky. Persuading that asshole is gonna be difficult, to say the least. As he is very much a stubborn individual, I suppose you could say. And very hard to persuade. Let's see. Ruben's place is just here. I'm going to go and see Griff as well. Yep, there he is.
Here they will not find me for long.
It is a pity that indeed there are only 24 hours. We do not have enough time. The infected district is hell. It is impossible to survive there. Do you have any antibodies, immunic correctors? We'll see about Simon. While the diagnoses have proven to be true, undoubtedly it is the sand filth. Why do you study him so long? It is interesting to me how the illness influences the human internals. To check it sometime is necessary. I did not start dissecting yet. And it seems to me it is interesting to you whether the anatomy of Simon differs from the anatomy of an unusual man. You have solved me, yes, this is so. For this reason I do not hurry to give the body to the Canes. You will not tell them about my place. No, I am interested myself.
Where is this illness?
No, I have nothing at all. Frankly speaking, this is one of the reasons for which I refused an independent travel to the infected district. It's a pity. The townspeople will help you with pleasure, even the women. They said that recently some sets of medicines were distributed to all but the order of the Olgimskis. To all by the order of the Olgimskis. It seems I was one of the few who has got nothing. I in fact had to hide here. Thanks for your advice, I shall take advantage. Why did he have to hide? Now that could be just translation going wrong again, but I'm guessing he's hiding there because of the infection. I'm guessing that's what it means. Hey there, Griff.
Have the seams opened again?
So what have you got for me? His pricing hasn't really gone down, has it? In any shape or form. Oh well. Never mind. Right, we'll go see the clot, which is Olgimsky. See what he has to say. What time is it? It's 9:15. And of course we need to go and see everybody because different people have different jobs, and in order to sort of keep everybody alive we have to do jobs for them, otherwise we're gonna have trouble. That's, I'm guessing, how this works. If anything to trade, bandage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 5 he's charging still, yeah. It's alright. Okay. Let's go see Olgimsky. Olgimsky! Maybe I should go see Capella as well. She might have something interesting to say.
Do you know anything about this illness?
Do you want me to open you a secret of the remedy which wonderfully heals the sand plague? But it is dangerous. I attentively listened to you, Victoria. Have you ever seen such an ancient boxes with 4 white or bluish powders? Some of them have already hardened. Do you know already about the so-called powders? Tell me, I am eager to hear this story from a fair and reasonable person whom you seem to be. The powders are the secret remedies remained since the times of the first outbreak. Before all started, children led by one boy, his name was Lutic. He died then, plagued the epidemic, and then produced these powders. Okay. Wait a minute, have I not misheard? Yes, strange. And I have never thought about it until now. Really a strange coincidence, but this is not important. All the same, we find out nothing from them. Those who started that are now in heavens. I mean another thing. Some children stole different medicines from the game for the game. Certainly they choose the most beautiful. Then they crushed the tablets in a mortar and mixed them. They wrapped up these mixtures in fresh leaves of fragrant steep safflower to store them. Not always. Everyone had a recipe. Nobody knows what medicines entered into the powder. Everyone made them by their own prescription. The most effective appeared at 3 children: Kruska, Boka, and Nuta. Also the powders of Lutic were respected. They were the most beautiful. Where are these powders now? They are all kept in different places. Some of them are stored in hidden places in the houses where they played the infirmary. They were hidden because they were lethally dangerous. Such dose of chemistry renders a terrible influence. But the children think differently. What if they help again? They were working at the time. And what do you think about it? Some of them undoubtedly produce a curing effect. They poison the body, but the sand dirt leaves the person. I do not know how it turns out. Probably their structure included antibiotics. But some of them kill, and all of them, without exception, influence the health very badly. I do not doubt this. The matter is that recently the kids remembered about one of the hidden places. They opened it and now rushed to the infected district to test these powders. Idler, this is a younger brother of Kruska, has already gone on tests. The fool. Where exactly? I think to the Silent House. It is from there in fact the infection was spreaded. Isaburak's house. And besides this terrible story about he cannibal, the children are always attracted by horrors. In general, I think you can stop them. They will obey you if you forbid them. You are a famous doctor. So you say they have a whole stockpile of these powders. They probably have only some wisdom, but they know the addresses. They will get them and become poisoned again and again. This is a lottery. Nobody remembers anymore where is whose powder, under what prescription it is made. It will either cure or kill you. Alright, we shall put Idler out, and the powders can appear useful to me. Ah. The Silent House. That's Isidore Burak's house. The boy went out to battle. Capella asks to find a little boy in the infected district and to take the powder from him. It is reasonable to assume that the kid is most likely to be somewhere near the Silent House. The Silent House being where Isidore Burak died. His house, because that's where the infection started. Makes sense. Okay. I think here is a good part to finish up for, or a good place to finish up for this part. And in the next one we're going to go and talk to Olgimsky and see where we go from there. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, and have fun.